Hello everyone, this is Faith at Faith&books. How are you doing? Happy Feast of Saint Kateri Today is her feast day. It's July 14th. And she is what they call the Mohawk Maiden. She was a Native American who had lost her parents to smallpox. And she was ravaged by it herself. She was very scarred by it. And somehow she had met a passing missionary, and I don't know which missionaries. This is in like upstate New York. And so she was secretly baptized, I think. Was she secretly baptized, or did she want to be baptized? I can't remember. But anyway, her uncle, who was in charge of her, was very cruel to her. And so she wound up running away. And she traveled through, the wilderness, and she found the missionaries. And she lived there until, unfortunately, some other disease killed her very young. I just read a book, 1491, and it talked a lot about how many Native Americans were just decimated, just wiped out because of smallpox and other diseases that were brought in by the Europeans. So, unfortunately, she was a victim of that. But anyway, she was known for her devotion and her gentleness and her loving nature, and so there was just what they call a cult, but not in the bad sense, but just there were a group of people who really thought she was holy, and that movement grew. And then she recently, I don't know, within the last 10 years, maybe, was made a saint, or declared a saint, and by the church. But for a long time she was a blessed, which is like the step below becoming a fully declared saint. My cat is about to, what are you doing? He's standing behind the camera here. Anyway, so there's a lot of devotion to her. And in fact, my aunt, when she was teaching up at Michigan State University in East Lansing, she would, I don't know how close it was to Lansing, maybe it was a retreat center that she went to sometimes, or somewhere near there. There was a shrine to Blessed Kateri Tekakwitha. But I think her official shrine is in upstate New York somewhere. Anyway, she's a very interesting saint, and today is her feast day, and so I'm going to add a little vlog I did, it's not really a vlog, but this morning I went over to my church, to the native garden we have there, which is a Kateri habitat certified garden. So there's this wonderful Catholic organization called the Kateri Conservation Center. They've been around for years. They started off as just a library, an online library, and they've expanded to doing other things, including certifying these habitats, these native gardens on Catholic properties. It can be in your yard, your church, whatever property. And so our parish recently got our native garden certified. So I'll show that at the very end. But also I wanted to talk about them because there's sort of an overlap with Native American approaches to environmentalism or creation care. So this is Sustainability July, and I've been rereading this encyclical by the Pope on care for our common home. Not quite as far along as I want to be. I hope today and tomorrow I can get a lot read and catch up. But there's just so much overlap between that, another book that I'm listening to, and what I have learned, and I don't know much, but what I have learned of the sort of the First Nation or the indigenous or the whatever the correct and polite term is, because I don't want to be disrespectful, of Native Americans to the care for creation. And they and I've heard that sometimes they really can be at odds with environmentalism, in the sort of secular first world environmentalism, because it's a child of Malthus. Is it Malthus? Wait, let me put my cat down. Who, the whole population bomb, that sort of thing, and but Native Americans see themselves as an integral part of creation, so you can't like separate out one part as being evil, and like to them that dichotomy. This is what I understand. I could be misinterpreting, but so they're sort of at odds with, just at a very basic philosophical way, kind of at odds with the sort of secular environmentalism that has arisen, its current flavor. But there's a lot of overlap between how they view creation and how Pope Francis expresses it in this encyclical. And also, I've been listening to this book called Terra, Firma, which is sort of, it's by this woman activist, Vandana Shiva, who's from India. And I think I found out about her, or knew her name from Arion of Book Zealots. So thank you, Arion. And but I had seen her around. I just didn't put the face with the name or really know anything about her. So I started looking into her more and more, and it turns out that one of her books is published by one of my favorite book publishers, which is the Chelsea Green Publishing Company, which publishes a lot of gardening and environmental stuff, food security stuff, very informative books. So some are very, very practical, some are very, very ideological. You might not agree with everything that they publish, but they're a really good grassroots kind of radical localism, organic, that kind of thing, publisher, and I love their books. A lot of their books I really, really appreciate. And they published this Terra Firma, which is the sort of the memoirs of Vandana Shiva's work with ecology. And it's so interesting because it's from a third or developing world, so to speak, perspective from India. And she has been so instrumental in so many things. She's been fighting Monsanto and all these big global corporations that just basically treat everybody like serfs, and want to control the seeds. And so it's all tying together. Like there's three distinct groups: the Catholics, Native Americans, and this Gandhian approach to ecology that I'm learning about from Vandana Shiva. And they all overlap a lot. There's so much commonality. It really, really gives me hope. That's my cat's whiskers showing up. Okay, Clover. Anyway, so I just thought that it was so neat that all these things are coming together for me. So I'm really enjoying learning about it all. I'm going to catch. I'm a little bit behind on this. I'm going to catch up. But the thing is, next week I am helping with Vacation Bible School at my parish, and I'm not going to be able to make videos next week. I don't see it happening. I'm not being as proactive in putting up videos on Sustainability July this year. I just don't seem to have my act together enough to do that. But I am reading, and I was going to check how far I am. I think I'm just like, I'm only like 75 pages into a 275 page book, The Nature's Best Hope. But that is also all about why we need to plant. No. Don't get mad at me. Here, I'll hold you like this. He's going to bite me because I kept taking him off the table. You keep walking in front of the camera. Anyway, I'm talking to my cat. There. See him? Anyway, so I think I should wind this up. It's probably long enough, and now I forgot what I was saying. I'm just checking in on Sustainability July and telling you what's up. And probably I'm not going to make any videos, or if I do, maybe I'll swing one of them next week. But also, I want to announce that July 22nd, I don't know if I've announced this before, is the day that I'm going to do Jane Austen, Live Like Jane Austen for a Day, sustainability challenge. But on that day, I'm going to put up my review of Flying Colors, which is in the Hornblower series, and is fits one of the categories for the prompts for Jane Austen July because it happens during the Regency period. In fact, in this book, he gets to meet the regent. But maybe he's become a king by then. Maybe, what are you splashing me? Anyway, all right, I better go. So I hope this was coherent. I'm not sure. I'm going to attach the little video that I did of my church's native garden, and I will talk to you later. Happy Sustainability July and happy reading. Bye-bye. I thought I would just give you a little peek at our native garden that we have here at my church. There's Our Lady of Guadalupe, and we've created this little sanctuary for pollinators supporting native plants, and it has been certified as a habitat by Saint Kateri or Kateri, the Kateri Conservation Center, which is a Catholic conservation center I was talking about. And so I thought it would be appropriate on the feast of Saint Kateri Tekakwitha to just show you the garden. Now it's not, I need to come and weed it. I've noticed that there's some big old weeds growing here. Almost, look at that. Going to seed there, going to flower. That is a horse nettle. It's got ugly thorns on it. Can you see the ugly thorns? Here we go. Yeah. So I need to get in here and do some weeding. We were actually supposed to have a weeding session this Wednesday, but it's been so hot and nobody's really responded when I send out requests to help. So, it is what it is. Anyway, so this is our little garden. We do have some things blooming, some native plants blooming. We have the aster over there is blooming. Here it is. That's the aster. There we go. That's one aster. And let's see what else do we have blooming. I think these are called cardinal flowers. I'm making this video and people are walking by. And what else did I see blooming? Oh yes, and then we have this is the coreopsis.